নমস্কাৰ সকলোকে স্বাগতম জনাইছোঁ প্ৰাগ বিশেষ IPL স্পেচিয়েল পাৱাৰ্ড বাই ওৱান এক্স বেটাৰ আনটা খণ্ডলৈ আজি আমি IPLৰ কথা পাতিম যিখন মেটচ আজি হ'বলৈ গৈ আছে অৰুণ জেটলি ষ্টেডিয়াম দিল্লীত সেইখন মেটচ আছে দিল্লী কেপিটেল ভাৰ্চেছ ৰাজস্থান ৰয়েলছ এই মেটচখন এই হাই ভল্টেজ মেটচখনৰ বিষয়ে কথা পাতিবলৈ দুগৰাকী বিশিষ্ট অতিথি ক্ৰিকেটৰ বিশেষজ্ঞক আমি আমন্ত্ৰণ কৰিছোঁ তেখেতসকলে আমাৰ লগত সংযোজিত হৈছে তেখেতসকলক প্ৰথমতে স্বাগতম জনাই লওঁ তেখেতসকল হৈছে মিষ্টাৰ Sadanand Vishwanath former Indian wicket keeper welcome to the discussion sir আনজন গেষ্ট হৈছে Mr. Sunil Kalra founder of Indian Sports Fan welcome to the discussion gentlemen. So as we all know that today Delhi Capitals versus Rajasthan Royals is going to be held in Arun Jaitley Stadium tonight. So let me start with Mr. Sadanand ji. So Rajasthan will likely to be without the service of Josh Butler after the ECB announced that selected players are the Gold Club will need to report for national duty. Do they have enough to cope without him, sir?
Certainly. I mean, they have enough of firepower. Remember, even in the last match, when SRH won by a solitary run, Bhuvneshwar Kumar induced a nick from Josh Butler. It was well caught in the slips. And the next ball, he bowled a beautiful in-swinger to defeat the defense of Sanju Samson. And he got 2 wickets in that over. So Josh Butler, just the boss, got out for a blob. But even then, the other batters did well, like Sanju Samson, Yashasvi Jaiswal, Riyad Farad, Simran Hetmeyer. I mean, they have a long batting tail. They have a long firepower in their arsenal, So it's a good chance for the other boys to come to the party, to step up, to count themselves responsible, and to give that solidity to Rajasthan Royals. They will miss the presence of Josh Butler. But I'm sure that these high-caliber teams like Rajasthan Royals will not miss his performance because the other boys will also perform.
Okay, sir. So Delhi Capitals still continue with Fraser McGurk as an opening batsman, sir, because he only scored 12 runs in their last game against KKR.
Yeah.
Sunilji.
That's it.
Well,
yes,
you don't go on, sir, Vishy sir.
Yeah, you see, in case David Warner, who had a finger injury, if the Delhi franchise find him fit, they might ask David Warner to open. And then we might see James McGurk come in at number 3. And James McGurk is an explosive player. He's been doing very well for Melbourne Renegades in the Big Bash in Australia. He's also been doing pretty well for the DC. And I'm sure that if DC have to climb up that ladder and somehow make it to the playoffs, a lot will depend on the young, dynamic, 22-year-old James Fraser McGurk. He's a great all-rounder. He was actually a wicket-keeper when he was 10 years old. But he grew taller, and now he's a wonderful world-class all-rounder. It's very sad that the Australian selectors did not pick him for the World Cup, the T20 World Cup. But Australia have a different selection pattern. They usually wait for their players to come to 27, 28, and even sometimes 30, 31. There's been some great Australian players who played when they're 30 and 31 and 32. So Australia, they really makes their players work very hard for the Aussie green cap. And once they get it, they really honor it. That's why Australia is such a great sporting nation. And at the same time, even Indian cricketers and Indian players also deserve that Indian cap. And when they get it too, the Indian players also respect that cap and hold on to it for as long as possible. Okay. But I think McGurk will soon get an Aussie cap very soon. In a year or two, you'll find James McGurk playing for the Australian senior team in Test, ODI, and across all formats.
Okay. Well, I need Sunilji's input on it.
Well, you don't chop and change players based on one performance, considering that Delhi Capitals hasn't been winning too many games. And this lad seems to be one of the most promising players. So I think he's Ricky Ponting's favorite. Ricky Ponting is everybody's favorite in Delhi Capitals. And Delhi Capitals seems to be not even crowd favorite. So they will not look at crowd. They will go and do exactly what Ricky Ponting feels. Because they somehow are sold out on the idea of a foreign coach and towing their line. It's unfortunate, but it's a true fact. Even the previous matches, you see the foreign coaches dugout, the Mumbai Indians dugout has got no Indian coach or a support staff. So that talks about the problems that India is facing and the Delhi Capitals are facing. Sorry, I beg your
Okay.
pardon.
Well,
That's a very good point. It's a very, very good point. I would just like to add to what Sujiti said.
yeah,
Yes,
sure.
there are talks at the NCA that we have got a lot of promising coaches who are worth their salt, who are fantastic coaches, who can feel the pulse of our Indian players, our local players. We've got some amazing coaches who are working with Vijay Lakshman, Rahul Dravid, and all our Indian coaches are also working at the zonal cricket academies spread all over the country. And many of them are doing yeoman service, grooming and shaping and nurturing young talent in their respective state units. And why not? Why don't we give our Indian coaches an opportunity to be a coach in the IPL? Why not? I think Rahul Dravid and Vijay Lakshman and the BCCI needs to look into it and hope and pray that our Indian coaches get the recognition that they deserve. Good point, Sunil. Thanks for bringing it up.
Okay. Well, Delhi Capitals are facing a team in form. So, what are the keys to stopping Rajasthan Royals, sir? Sunilji.
You can't stop Anderson Royals. And I think I'll let Sunil carry this question forward. Sunil,
No,
on
no,
you.
please continue. I think you'll make a cricketing point. I come from the fans and the statistic point. Please make the cricketing point and I'll jump in.
Yeah, I mean, the cricketing point is how can you stop the juggernaut? I mean, they've been doing so well. You can't stop Rajasthan Royals because they're going hammer and tong, especially in the opening part of the game. The power play they're using very well. And it'll be very tough for DC to stop them. And they just have to hope that they have been bowling well. DC have been bowling well in the the power play, the first 6 overs. But at what cost? They've been very expensive. They've gone for a lot of runs, but they're taking a lot of wickets, but too many runs. So I would suggest that the only way that DC can do their best is to hope that Kuldeep Yadav, Khalil Ahmed, their bowlers, Norke, Mukesh Kumar, and the crafty Ishan Sharma, they stick to good lines and lengths, and they're able to restrict Rajasthan Royals to a gettable score in case DC want to chase. And in case DC want to bat first, then their strategy and planning will be different. But I still feel that in this particular match, DC will have to once again depend a lot on their bowlers to strike form and their bowlers to get them wickets. I do know that batters win a trophy, but sometimes bowlers too can win you a championship. And the team that bowls really well and they all combine well, the batters complement the bowlers complement the batters. It's a great all-round performance. And that's what is the true cohesion of a team. And that's why it's a team game. And such kind of teams which have that cohesion and which can be revolve like an atom, So I think the team that creates the synergy and the team that gels well, will always emerge victorious. And today I think RR will prove that point against DC. DC too have an opportunity to prove me wrong. It's going to be a thrilling match, and I for one am very happy that the tournament will see one more exciting match tonight.
Any suggestion from your side, Sunilji?
See, it's been a process. I've been watching Rajasthan Royals, the Royals, as I would put it, from the South African League, SAT20, late last year and early this year. I was physically present watching them for over a month, and I feel that these guys have done a phenomenal job. It's a process they've been following. They're not just one-hit wonder. There is a band which delivers a one-hit wonder kind of a group, and then they disappear. This group has been working like a typical, a very seasoned campaigner. They're like a band which is dishing out hits after hits after hits, and that's what makes their life so easier, and that's what makes us so beautiful to watch their game, whether it is in PAL Royals, as they are called in South Africa, or here. Full marks to the management, the way they've been thinking and working and doing things that they're doing right now.
Okay.
Good point, Sunil, because RR management is fantastic. They have a great backroom staff. They have a great management team, great physios. They're a superb unit.
I think the fact remains that they're very cost conscious. Vishibai, they're very cost conscious. They're not over the top, but at the same time, they have their own academies globally. They know where to make their monies from. They also knows how to spend wisely, whether in the auction or not. And the reason for that is that they've got some former players in the thick of things, and not just professionals who leave one MNC to another and look at MBAs who don't understand the game, from the heart. They may see it from an Excel sheet, but cricket is understood and still played by the heart.
And they also have Indian coaches with them. They have a few of the Indian coaches who are sitting there in the dugout. That makes a huge difference.
Okay. Yashasvi Jaiswal made it to the World Cup, beating up competition from the likes of Subman Gill. His form has been a so-so this season. So, do you think that he has done enough to warrant a place in Team India? Sunilji.
Why do you say his form has been so-so? His form has not been so-so. He got a sublime century versus Mumbai Indians just the other day. I mean, he's been striking at 160 or 170 from 1 year. Ever since he, came into the Indian squad in all formats, he's been doing very well. And even in the lead up to the IPL, he performed very well in the Test series versus England, which India emerged victorious. So Yashasvi Jaiswal is a fantastic player. He definitely deserves his place in the Indian team. Shubham Gill has to once again regroup his strategy. He's got to get his thoughts together. He's got to sort out his technique. He's got to sort out his temperament. And I'm sure he will, because Shubham Gill is too good a player to be sitting in the benches for a long time. He too will once again come back rolling into form. But Yashasvi Jaiswal, I'm sure Sunil also will agree with me. He deserves to be there partnering Rohit Sharma in that left-right opening partnership, which we'll be seeing in the World Cup. And Yashasvi Jaiswal can gladden millions of cricket fans all over the world with his cricketing skills. He's a class act, great player. My best wishes to Yashasvi Jaiswal.
Okay. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining with us. So, we are running out of time, so we need to wind up this show right here. Hi, Priya Darshok, Heya Asil Dujon Cricket Bixekh Tekhethokole Aji Hobologia, Delhi Capitals versus Rajasthan Royals Jikhon khel Arun Jaitley Stadium of Delhi Hobole goi ase 7:30 বজাত সেইখনৰ বিষয়ে অলপ সম্যক আলোচনা আগবঢ়ালে আমি দুইটা টিমকে শুভেচ্ছা জনাই এই অনুষ্ঠানৰ পৰা মই সমীৰঞ্জনে বিদায় লৈছো ধন্যবাদ